The marble floors of the downtown courthouse echoed with the early bustle of a Monday morning. Lawyers adjusted their ties, court clerks rustled through files, and the bailiff made his usual rounds, surveying the waiting area, nodding at familiar attorneys, and casting the occasional glance at newcomers. Then in walked Amir Wallace. Tall, composed, and impeccably dressed in a steel-gray three-piece suit, Amir immediately stood out, not just for his confidence but for his elegance. His shoes were perfectly polished, his pocket square folded just so, and the cut of his suit was so precise it almost looked sculpted. The bailiff, a white man in his late 50s named Tom Renshaw, gave Amir a once-over and smirked. "Big day in court, huh?" he said, half laughing. "Where'd you rent that thing? Prom Depot?" A few nearby people chuckled, unsure whether to laugh or cringe. Amir didn't react. He simply smiled politely and walked past the bailiff into the courtroom. But the moment hadn't gone unnoticed. Amir wasn't in court as a defendant. He wasn't a witness or a paralegal. He was there as an expert consultant in a high-profile intellectual property case, called in by the defense to testify on luxury branding, licensing, and counterfeit fashion goods. What the bailiff didn't know, and what he would soon find out, is that Amir Wallace was the founder and creative director of Wallace & Rowe, one of the fastest-rising luxury menswear labels in the country. His designs had appeared in GQ, worn by celebrities on red carpets, and his flagship showroom in Atlanta was appointment only. That suit he wore? Not only was it not rented, it was his own design, handcrafted from imported Italian wool, sewn in his personal atelier in Paris. Retail price? $4,500. The courtroom came to a quiet hush when Amir took the stand. Attorneys leaned forward. Jurors straightened in their seats. Even the judge peered over his glasses with interest. "Mr. Wallace," the defense attorney began, "can you tell the court your professional background?" Amir smiled and spoke with ease. "I am the CEO and creative director of Wallace & Rowe, a luxury menswear brand specializing in bespoke and ready-to-wear suiting. I've worked in textile design, brand protection, and global licensing for the past 15 years. Have you ever testified in a legal proceeding?" "Yes," Amir replied. "3 times. Once in a federal case involving counterfeit imports and twice in trademark infringement suits. I've also consulted with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on fashion brand enforcement." The courtroom was silent. Even the bailiff, standing stiffly near the back wall, seemed to shrink slightly. Amir proceeded to break down the complexities of counterfeit garment tracing, brand dilution, and the intricacies of fashion copyright. He spoke with authority, intelligence, and clarity, educating the jury and commanding the room. After his testimony, the opposing counsel tried to rattle him with questions about his credentials. "So, you design suits," the lawyer said almost sarcastically. "What makes you qualified to speak on legal matters?" "I don't practice law," Amir said evenly, "but I've spent 15 years protecting my intellectual property and working alongside legal teams around the world. And while I may not have a JD, I have testified as an expert in 4 jurisdictions, most recently in the Southern District of New York." The judge leaned forward. "That's sufficient, counselor." When court adjourned for lunch, a few attorneys approached Amir, complimenting him on his testimony, and more than a few asking where they could get a suit like his. He handed out 2 cards, smiled graciously, and headed toward the exit. As he passed the bailiff again, Amir paused briefly. "For what it's worth," he said without malice, "I didn't rent it." The bailiff, red-faced, nodded but said nothing. Later that week, the case was decided in favor of Amir's client, thanks in no small part to his clear and compelling testimony. And the story didn't end there. A reporter covering the trial tweeted a clip of Amir's exchange with the opposing counsel with the caption, "The man they laughed at owns the label." The post went viral. Fashion blogs featured his courtroom look. Business outlets profiled his rise from streetwear intern to global brand owner. And young black designers across the country celebrated the quiet power of showing up with excellence, even when you're underestimated. Because Amir Wallace had done more than just wear the suit. He made it.